After my last video, some of you asked for more basic and large tips on how to actually play Tracer. This is a pretty abstract concept, so I decided to make a video divided in two parts: why and when to play Tracer, and how to play and practice. Now I'm gonna start with a disclaimer and say that Tracer is a very hard character. She's very aim reliant, so I'd recommend having good control of your mouse before starting to master her. Being platinum and over would be a plus, but I mean, who am I to tell you what characters to play? If you enjoy Tracer, I'd tell you to try to get better at Soldier or Diva first, so you're better at tracking and better at controlling your mouse, and then jump right into Tracer. Maybe check out some YouTube videos about how to practice aim, like Kabaji or myself. I will link in the description. So first part, why and when to play Tracer. Let's start by making sure we know what Tracer is. Tracer is a flanker assassin. She is high mobility, medium to low range character, was for drawback, very low vertical mobility, and the lowest HP in the game. She is what is called a high risk, high reward character. She will be as effective as you can be with her. Now here are the picks for Contenders Season 1 in EU, NA, and the World Cup. As you can see, Tracer averages an 80% pick rate in pro play. What makes Tracer so highly rated, with characters like Winston or Diva or Lucio, is her versatility. She doesn't really have any bad moments, she doesn't really have bad maps, she can pretty much be played in any composition out there, and she has multiple roles. She can be a flanker harassing the backline, she can be a duelist to restrict the other flankers, or she can just bust tanks with bombs and discords. She doesn't have also a truly hard counter. McCree, just like Roadhog, Anasleep, or any CC, can be characters, yes, as counters, but they're way too easily outplayable for Tracer to be a reason to not play her. Unlike characters like Fa, Reaper, or Genji, who are really susceptible to this kind of CC, or damage. Now, that doesn't mean Tracer is overpowered. The drawback to not having any hard counters is that every character in this game can easily kill Tracer, like from Lucio to Ana to Diva to anyone. Another reason is she doesn't really have any competition. Reaper and Genji, as we just said, are more easily countered and have less mobility. At Sombra, yes, she is just as slippery as Tracer, but she doesn't have the damage to compete with her. Now that we've established that Tracer can be played anywhere, you might be thinking, well, I'm not a pro player, I'm not Effect or Sinatra or Sebayobi or any of those guys, and my team isn't gonna play around me every time. So this is part 2, how to play and practice Tracer. Tracer, as we established earlier, has multiple playstyles. What I'd recommend is a mixture of all, adapting depending on what your main problem is. Are the healers on the enemy team too free to heal? Harass them, don't leave them alone. Make sure they always have an eye for you and always look out for you. Are the tanks bullying your healers? Ask for maybe a Zen switch and then focus on those guys, take away their space by just harassing them too and making sure they can't just jump on you guys. Are the flankers killing your backline? Engage in duels with them. Tracer's probably one of the best 1v1 characters in the game, so try to keep them from doing what they want. The first tip I'd give you to achieve all those is to never die, first of all. You never want to overcommit, always want to make sure you are able to get away with your recall or blinks. Now that may seem obvious, but the reason you don't want to go for trades are as follows. First of all, a Tracer alive is another problem your opponents have to deal with. If you die, the healers, the tanks know that and are more able to do what they want. Stay alive, and that's another problem for the enemy supports or tanks. They have to pay attention to you or you can easily kill them. Second of all, you're playing to carry. Overwatch is a very team-based game, so you can't really snowball with items or gold or whatever like in CS or Dota or League. The main aspect of carrying is staying alive, so you can actually do the damage. If you die, in your mind, it should be the main carry in your team dead, therefore a lost fight. When you eventually die, which will happen, try to know why. This is the biggest tip I can give to get better. Knowing why you died reduces the chance you'll die the same way next time, so take a second and realize why you died and never tilt about it. Another tip on Tracer is to be creative. Use your blinks to get places you can harass people for free. Use them to get high ground or flank around. I recommend looking for Tracer jump videos like mine in my previous video, or just looking on YouTube or Reddit. There's a lot of them, I'm sure you can find some good ones. Lastly, I'd say to go for plays. It may seem contradictory to the first point because you never want really to die, but if you have your cooldowns, you can always go for plays with means of escaping. That's one of Tracer's strengths. She can erase any mistakes if you have your cooldowns. So go for unusual sticks, try to one-flip healers from behind, all that kind of stuff. Don't be afraid to do it, practice it, and just take it as a learning lesson every time. So to end this video, here's some practice drills I personally use and you can use in custom games or in practice range. You You can practice tracking by just following bots around in practice range and trying to never leave the head or neck or hitbox. You can practice getting used to 180s after a blink, so you can blink around an enemy and never take too long to start hitting them again. Now you can also go into a custom game, practice running around sticking Lucios and Ana. That's how I practice most of my stickies. Just hit the Roadhog to gain ult, then go back to trying to stick Lucio or Ana. Just do that over and again until you're used to the throwing distance of the bomb, how Tracer throws it, and the hitboxes of the enemies. Finally, I'd recommend checking out Kabaji's video on aim practice if you want to get better at it. It's really good. I use a lot of his drills, so there you go. Just so you guys know, I'm also going to start streaming on a fresh account on my Twitch channel. I'm going to try doing an on-rank to like Grandmaster or something, playing mostly Tracer. So check it out, twitch.tv/odd_GG. It will be in the description too. See you guys later.